Hi Feebles. I just finished filming me painting all my nails, and as I was like uploading it, it was making my computer act weird and it wasn't good. So unfortunately, you can kind of see me finishing my right hand, but you won't be able to see the process of how to do this hand, but I'll go through it step by step. Remember, you don't have to use the same colors or the same types of nail polishes as me, and not even the same style. You can do basically whatever you want. I painted my thumb a solid maroon color. It is Vixen by Revlon and it's number 570, and I added a sticker to it. I am halfway through on my right hand, so you can kind of see under that one. Most people have trouble painting their opposite last dominant hand, but I find if you paint it fast and don't think about it, it's not that bad. You want to do 2 coats of every nail polish that you use, if it's a base coat. More coats if the color is not working. The darker the color, sometimes I find you can get away with 1, but if it's a really light color, like a yellow, I have this yellow nail polish, I have to do like 7 coats. I'm going to let this nail dry and I'm going to move on to the next nail. My index finger, I did a French tip with a white accent line. Basically, you start off by painting your nails with a base coat. I like to use the base coat Hard as Nails by Sally Hansen, and it strengthens my nails. So on every nail it's painted that. But especially for French tips, I really like this. You do a base coat of that, and then you take your French color that you want and you paint it across your nail from just the part that's white. So kind of like this. And see how it's kind of crappy looking on the bottom? That's why I do the white stripe, because it evens and smooths it out. I buy fine tips from the dollar store. You do not have to spend a lot of money on fine tips because I don't use them that often. And the most expensive bottle of nail polish that I own, I believe, is my Crackle. This is $8 a bottle. I got it for Christmas. But I find the more expensive the nail polish is, it doesn't always mean that it's better. Sometimes my cheapest, which I spend like $1 on, they stay on my nails for almost ever. The brush is really fine, and you're going to drag it across smoothly your edge. Just like that. On my middle finger, I painted it a copper color. That happens to be the same copper that I did for prom. It's CQ Rustic Dream number 543. You don't always have to do a French tip with a clear coat. I really kind of enjoy it with the colors, because it just kind of adds an extra level. I am now using CQ's Crimson Pearl number 426. And you're just going to do the same thing that you did with the French. But since you kind of can't see your white, you kind of guesstimate. Doing French tips, no matter what, if it's a clear base coat or a colored base coat, it adds length to your nails. So if you have really short nails, I recommend doing that. If you cannot do it freehand like I do it, I started off using pieces of masking tape that I would pre-cut because heavens, once you start painting your nails, you can't do much. So take the tape and you run it like this, covering off a section, and then you could paint as much as you want. You paint it, let it dry, and then while it's still kind of, it's dry on top, but wet underneath, you peel it off carefully. If you peel off any of the paint, you just kind of touch it back up, and you're free to go. I recently bought this bottle from Icings. It's sparkle nail polish, and it's basically clear nail polish with sparkles in it, and it dries clear, obviously, but the sparkles remain. I really, really like this stuff. That was kind of expensive, but often you can find that they have buy one, get ones. With sparkle nail polish, you just kind of go with it, because the sparkles come off whenever they want to come off and not when you want it. So you're free to move them around on your nail, but once it dries, you obviously can't. So you want to kind of evenly across your. Lastly, I'm painting my pinky with the Sally Hansen Instant Dry Snappy Sorbet, number 460. This stuff is nice because it instantly dries, so it dries really fast, so it's an excellent base coat for crackles. I have to go back to the beginning of my nails to finish them, because you want your nails to be well dry before you apply the next coat. I recommend giving yourself a huge gap of time to paint your nails, and don't do it directly before you go to bed because you'll get sheet prints on them, and definitely pee before you start. I'm going to now apply the sticker back onto my thumb, like this nail. So you're going to use your clear coat nail polish and dab a little on the nail. Carefully peel off the sticker. You're really going to want your index fingers to be dry for this because you're going to probably smudge it. As carefully as you can. Place it where you want it on your nail. Immediately afterwards, take your clear nail polish and coat it the entire nail to give it an extra amount of glue for support. I'm going to clear coat this nail now, the French tip nail, because you want to do that, definitely, French tips. I'm going to apply the design I painted on my middle finger on this middle finger. I'm sorry that I just kind of flipped you off. Crackle stuff is amazing. I highly recommend you get a color that you probably will use more than once, because they have like pink and turquoise, but rarely you'll use it. You have to do it as quickly as you can, and the thicker the coat you apply, the bigger the cracks. And it dries super fast, and once it's on, you can't exactly do a coat over it because it'll conflict. I paint half my nail, re-dip, and then paint the other half because sometimes I find I don't have enough paint on the brush. Let's see if you can watch it crackle. I'm going to finish up and apply a clear coat on the rest of the nails that I haven't done a clear coat. If you have a flat matte nail polish, I recommend you do a clear coat because it gives it a shine. If you have a metallic, you don't exactly have to do a clear coat. And sometimes the more expensive nail polishes come with a top coat built in. Those are nice, but they're expensive. I hope you had fun learning how to paint your nails, kind of how I paint mine. And like I said earlier, you do not have to stick to what I did or use the same colors. It's all up to you. And the bigger your imagination, the better it will be. So, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. I make tons of mistakes, and sometimes those nails are what people compliment me on the most. Bye, everyone.